My coworker got me fired for sexual harassment but forgot I record everything. Jake from accounting had been making my life hell for 6 months straight, stealing my ideas in meetings, claiming credit for my projects, undermining me with our boss whenever possible. The guy was a snake in a cheap suit who somehow convinced management he was indispensable. I started recording conversations on my phone after he tried to throw me under the bus during our quarterly review. My supervisor had asked about a budget discrepancy and Jake immediately pointed fingers at me, claiming I'd miscalculated projections he'd actually handled himself. That's when I realized this guy would say anything to protect himself. The breaking point came last Tuesday. I'm at my desk finishing reports when Jake storms over, face red with rage. Apparently our boss had questioned one of his quarterly summaries and somehow that was my fault. He starts screaming about how I sabotaged his work, getting louder and louder until half the office is staring. I'm trying to stay calm, explaining that I hadn't even touched his project, but Jake's completely unhinged. He leans over my cubicle wall, getting inches from my face. You're such a useless piece of trash. No wonder your wife left you last year. Maybe if you focused on actual work instead of trying to make me look bad, you wouldn't be such a pathetic loser. That personal attack about my divorce crossed every line. I stood up slowly, hands visible, and said in the calmest voice I could manage, "Back off, Jake. We can discuss this professionally or not at all. I'm not going to sit here while you scream personal insults at me." He stormed off, muttering threats about how I'd regret crossing him. I thought that was the end of it, just another Tuesday with office drama. I was completely wrong. Wednesday morning, my phone buzzes with a text. Report to HR immediately. My stomach drops because nothing good ever starts that way. I grab my coffee and head upstairs, trying to figure out what could possibly be wrong. Sarah from HR is waiting with the most disgusted expression I've ever seen on a human face. She doesn't even invite me to sit down before launching into it. "We received an extremely serious complaint against you. Jake has accused you of sexual harassment and workplace intimidation." I'm sitting there completely stunned, trying to process what she just said. Sexual harassment? I barely spoke to Jake outside of work requirements. She continues reading from her notes. He claims that yesterday you cornered him at his desk, made inappropriate comments about his body and physical appearance, and then threatened him with physical violence when he tried to leave. My mind is racing because none of that happened. Not even close. But Sarah keeps going. He also has a witness. Linda from reception says she saw the entire incident and confirms his version of events. They slide termination papers across the desk. "We have zero tolerance for this behavior. Clean out your desk within the hour. Security will escort you to ensure you don't retaliate against Jake or any other employee." I'm walking to the elevator in complete shock, carrying my personal items in a cardboard box like some corporate cliche. 6 years with this company, perfect performance reviews, and I'm being fired over complete lies. My career is basically over because who's going to hire someone terminated for sexual harassment? Sitting in my car in the parking garage, I'm staring at my phone trying to figure out how to explain this to my family. That's when I remember the voice recording app I'd been using. I scroll through Tuesday's files and find the argument with Jake. I hit play and there's his voice, crystal clear. "You're such a useless piece of trash. No wonder your wife left you last year. Maybe if you focused on actual work instead of trying to make me look bad, you wouldn't be such a pathetic loser." Then my voice, calm and professional. "Back off, Jake. We can discuss this professionally or not at all. I'm not gonna sit here while you scream personal insults at me. Nothing about his body, no inappropriate comments, no threats of violence. Just him hurling personal attacks and me trying to de-escalate professionally. The recording proves everything he told HR was a complete fabrication." I immediately email the audio file to our CEO with a simple message. "Before you process my termination paperwork, please listen to what actually happened yesterday." 2 hours later, my phone rings. It's the CEO asking me to come back immediately. When I arrive, Jake and Linda are both sitting in HR looking like they've seen ghosts. Turns out Linda admitted she never actually witnessed anything. She just backed up Jake's story because they were friends. By end of day, both Jake and Linda were terminated for filing false reports and conspiracy to damage a colleague's career. The company offered me Jake's senior position with a $15,000 raise and a formal apology letter for my personnel file. The best part is Jake's job applications now require explaining why he was terminated for harassment. His reputation in our industry is completely destroyed, while mine got stronger than ever.